Hello everybody, Jerry Landry at the Weathered Shed. Come on in, join me. The IOD Gallery Wall series continues. I hope that you will hop on and join me. I'm just going to get you guys pulled up here on my iPad. So when you come in, say hello. Say hello, say hello. There we go. I see myself. All right. Say hello as you come in, guys. Hello, Sue. How are you? I am like dying of thirst all of a sudden for some reason. So come in. It's kind of warm in the workshop. I've got my air on, but yeah, it's a little warm. Hello, hello. So I am going to be doing a IOD gallery wall demonstration. You guys, a month ago I can't believe it's been a month. A month ago I did my last one, which was, let's see, which one was my last one? I think it was these little ditties, if you guys recall. So the gallery wall series is basically this. Check it out. All of these pieces I'm creating from one sheet of plywood using Iron Orchid Design products. So that is what this is all about. So let me just flip you guys down to the surface. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this little guy, which is called, it's textured seal. And I'm going to just be prepping this one because we won't have enough time to do this one tonight. So that is what we're going to be working on. So again, say hello as you come in. I'm not seeing, oh, there we go. Hey, Linda, there we go. Hey, Amanda. It's warm in California too, Sue. Oh, I can't wait to see you in October, my dear. I cannot wait. So let me get everything lined up here. We're going to be using a couple different products of IOD, and I'm going to start with this one first because this is the one that I just want to prep tonight with you guys. This is the 8x10. This is called Flight, and we're going to be using the IOD mold called Laurels, and that looks like this. Beautiful laurels in here. So I'm going to start with that, and if you guys want the diagram to do this entire gallery wall, it's available on ironorchiddesigns.com. Just look in their blog section and you will see all of them. But I am up to piece number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think this is 7 and 8 that I'm doing right now of the entire wall. So I have lots of pieces to go because I believe there's a total of like 22 or so. So we're going to use the Laurel Mold here, and all I'm going to do is get out my Air Dry Clay. This is also an Iron Orchid Design product. Amazing clay. I absolutely love, love, love their clay. I sell all of the IOD products, guys. You can get everything that you're seeing here tonight on my page at theweatheredshed.com on my website. And you can find everything there. I have everything in stock right now, which is awesome. So I'm just taking a chunk of the clay, and I oftentimes like to use a little bit of cornstarch in my molds. These molds are silicone, food grade safe, so you can use them for all kinds of things. I just happen to be using air dry clay tonight, but you can use resin in them. You can use fondant if you are a baker or a cake maker. So they're very, very versatile. Or if you make jewelry, just amazing for that. So I'm just taking a chunk. And one of the things you're going to notice that's different with Iron Orchid Design molds is they have a patented micro rim. Can you guys see that? Can you see that little micro rim on the edge here? And what that does is it enables you to get a really clean casting of your mold. And I'll show you in a minute here. So I'm just using this spatula plastic spatula that I have lying around, kind of put it at like a 45-degree angle and just swipe it across the mold like that. Okay. Probably didn't have it pressed down in there that good. Pull off the excess. Pressing down and pulling like that. And look at how clean that edge is. Just like that. And then you can take your excess and put it back in your wrapping. So you don't want it to dry out. And then I just flip over my mold and roll it right out. Look at that. Perfect, right? Perfecto. So I'm gonna make a couple of those because I wanna show you guys where I'm going with this one board, which is going to be called Flight. So we're using the IOD Laurel Mold, and then it'll be a two-parter for that one because like I said before, I need to prep it, and I don't want to take a ton of time tonight to show you guys it, but we'll do the other little one completely tonight, which is called Textured Seal. So again, say hello as you're coming, guys. I'm still not seeing comments for whatever reason. Sue, my shabby daddy cut them all for me. We did it on a Saturday afternoon. So that one I didn't push down quite enough, and I probably had my thing at the wrong angle there. Oops, still kind of pulled some of it out. And I didn't put any cornstarch in that time. So we'll see how it comes out of the mold. You don't always have to use it. I've kind of gotten in the habit of doing it. But see how nice and clean your edges are because of that micro rim? And just like that, out it comes. Okay, so I'm gonna take my board here. This is the glue of choice, guys. Tight bond, quick and thick. It's amazing, amazing glue. It sets really quickly, and it's what I highly recommend for gluing the molds to wood because it works so darn well. All right, so I'm just gonna go like this. Just like that. And just put it on the edge there of the board, like so. And here's a little trick. When you're butting up two sections of this mold together, all you have to do is take and cut out that top little piece, and look at, so you got a little V, and that's how you can marry the two of them together. Isn't that cool? Very simple. See how I created that little V in the top? That's all you need to do. He is a shabby guy. Shabby Daddy is my lifeline, I'll tell you what. He's amazing. Hey, Michelle. But to answer your question though, Sue, I could have cut the boards myself. We have an amazing tool called a track saw that I absolutely love so that I don't have to use the table saw. Track saw is an amazing, amazing thing. All right, so I also want to show you guys how you get a mitered corner, and then that's all we're going to do on this piece, and I'll finish putting the molds all the way around off camera, and then come back and show you guys part 2, okay? But I'm going to slide this up here for right now. I need to make one more mold here so I can show you guys how I get a mitered corner with the 2 pieces of clay, okay? So just get this pressed in here real good. Scraping off the excess. I think part of the issue is when I pull, I pull too hard, and you don't really need to pull that hard when you're dragging your little scraper down there. All right, so I'm just gonna roll it out just like that. Look at that, perfect, right? Okay, so now to get a mitered corner on here, guys, all I'm gonna do is I'm going to take and overlap the two of these at the bottom, like that, okay? And then I'm just going to, I can kind of see where my corner is. I'm just gonna chop into it just like that. See how I did that? And then just pull off my excess pieces, and look at that. I have a perfect mitered corner. Now all I'm gonna do is just glue this piece in place. Easy peasy, right? Perfect mitered corner there with the clay. That's all you do. Overlap the two and then chop through them, cut it off. Just like that. All right. So you guys get the idea. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my clay in my baggie here. So all I'm gonna do with this now, guys, is I'm gonna set this aside and just let this dry. I'm gonna finish up the mold all the way around. This beautiful laurel is gonna go all the way around the edge of this board. And then I'm going to be painting it, and I'll continue on to that next part with you guys on another live, okay? So let me just set this aside. All right, so let's go on to this textured, it's called Textured Seal, is this little guy. This board is only a, what is it? About a 7.5 by 6.5 board. But what makes a gallery wall interesting, guys, is having varying sizes and things like that. So that is what keeps it visually interesting, right? Is having all different sizes of art pieces on your wall. So that is key. Now, what we're gonna do with this one, we are going to take another piece of air dry clay. Okay. I'm just gonna take a kind of eyeball the size that I need, because we're gonna be doing something pretty cool. You guys probably, if you've been following me, you probably saw me do this on another one. One of my first demos, actually, for the IOD gallery wall. You probably saw me do this before, but this technique is really cool. And it's just another way of utilizing the stamps, guys, because that's the thing. You know, with any product, it's thinking outside the box and using the tools that you have, the DIY tools, in unique and different ways, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of cornstarch on my cardboard here because I just don't want it to stick on me. Okay, I've got my rolling pin here, and I just want to roll it. I don't bake, so my rolling pin ends up out in my workshop here. Who the heck has time for baking? Not me. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna cut some of this excess off because I really don't need it that big. Let's see here. So that looks pretty good. So you want it about 1/8 of an inch thick, like that, guys. And then you're gonna take your board and we're gonna glue this on here. Okay. And I'm actually I'm trying to eyeball this up with the stamp I'm going to be using just so I can kind of cut some excess off here. I don't think I need all that, because I am going to be stamping on the bottom section as well. So I'm just kind of making sure that the size is where I want it. All right, so then you take your triple thick, okay, and again, coat the back of your wet clay like so. Glue it down. And then I'm just gonna take this little, what do you call these? Spatula. It's like an artist's spatula. And all I'm doing, and you can use your finger too, you could use a little, like a plastic butter knife if you want, but basically you can see, I'm just gonna kind of moosh the edges down. Moosh is a technical term. So I'm just kind of melding in the edge into my board like so. Okay. And I know it doesn't look like much right now, guys, but hang in there. Bear with me, because you will be amazed at how beautiful this is going to be. Okay, so just like that. All right, and that's all we want to do with that for right now. Put my clay away here. Michelle, it takes about probably a day, 24 hours to fully dry with the air dry clay. It depends really on the thickness too, and your weather, you know, humidity and things like that. So I am using this is called, what is this called? Queen Bee? What is this called? Sue, help me out. What's the stamp set that I'm using? I'm just going to grab my Queen Bee. So I'm using the Queen Bee stamp set, and this is how gorgeous it is, guys. Look at all these pieces and parts in this stamp set. And again, you can get these on my website at theweatheredshed.com, but look at all the gorgeous pieces. So we're going to be using this little stamp down here. It's a seal. It's got vintagey, scrolly writing. It's just gorgeous. Can you see that? And that is what we're going to be using. So I'm just going to pull it off of the backer sheet. Okay. And make sure I have this the right side, how I want it. Yeah, just like that. And then we're just going to take the stamp like this into the wet clay. Okay. Press down. Making sure you get a nice even impression in there. Shabby Daddy answered your question. Track saw. A track saw. It's amazing. Look at that, you guys. Can you see that? Look at how cool that is. See how I impressed right into the clay? That image that you get? Gorgeous. Okay, that is a great way of using the stamps. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some chalk style paint that I have. It's just a kind of a creamy white. And the reason I like to use the chalk style paints, guys, is because they dry. They dry very quickly. So I'm gonna get my edges. And this is like an old cruddy jar of paint, guys. I keep all my old cruddy jars of paint for different little things like this because I'm going to be putting a wash over this. So it's not like it's anything that has to be super perfect. We're not going for perfection, okay? And I'm using a nice fluffy, what do you call it? I'm brain dead at this point of the day, guys. Sorry. What do you call these? Chippy brush. Chippy brush. I'm just using an old chippy brush. And I'm going to just cover this whole thing. Yes, I'm painting the clay wet. You don't have to. You could let it dry overnight if you choose. I actually like to paint my IOD Air Dry Clay while it's wet because as it dries, it tends to crack, and then I just go back in, you know, and we'll put in some more paint if I need to. The only downside with the little chippy brushes is they do lose their fibers every once in a while, so you got to pick them out, but no biggie. So I'm gonna go and the other thing is you really got to be careful when you're going over top of the wet clay when you've done an impression like this, because you don't want to be pressing down too hard, you know what I mean, and then taking away from the design. So I'm actually going to get a different brush because I have another brush I think that's a little bit fluffier, a little lighter than that one. Maybe. See what I mean by old paint? There's actually chunks in here. There's chunks in my paint. Lord only knows what all I've used that paint for. But I'm frugal when it comes to paint because paint is not cheap, especially the chalk style paint. So I like to use up every drop, and oftentimes on crafting projects like this, they come in handy. Okay, so I'm gonna take this little brush and try and paint in here. Very carefully. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but bear with me, guys, because it will transform before your very eyes. Have I ever steered you wrong before? Never, right? Never, never. Try and zoom in a little bit. So if you don't want to, like I said, I'm kind of speeding up the process just because I'm doing this on a live with you guys, but you could just leave this sit overnight and let it dry and then come back in and do your paint part of it, okay? I'm just, like I said, I'm speeding up the process for sake of demoing because I'm impatient like that and I don't want to wait. So there you have it. First part of healing is admitting it, right? Oh, okay. All right, so that is good. I'm gonna hit that now with a blow dryer. So Sue, I do want him to come. I want him to come on the back end of our conference, so we can go tour the wine country a little bit. Some of the wineries around there. So I am going out to Folsom, California, to the Iron Orchid Design Stockist Conference. It's just for us retailers in October, and I've never been to Folsom, California. I've been to Napa and Sonoma and all of that. Okay, so hopefully this is dry enough for me to show you guys the, yes, Barb, it is a beautiful time of the year, October. All right, so my next step is we're gonna do a color wash, guys. We're gonna do a color wash over this because that is what's going to make the details pop. You guys have seen me do color washes before. All it is a matter of paint and water, and I'm looking for my spray bottle, so bear with me. Where is my spray bottle? Where is my spray bottle? Just talk amongst yourselves while I find my spray bottle. Where is it? Oh, good Lord. Just when you think you're prepared, right, guys? I think I'm prepared, and then I'm always forgetting something. Oh, there it is. It's hiding. So I am going to take and just wet some blue shop towels. I like the blue shop towels when I'm doing color wash to wipe back the paint. So you just want to get it damp. It doesn't need to be soaking wet or anything like that. Okay. And then we're going to take a dark gray paint, or you could use a black, you know, like a charcoal black if you wanted to. But I've just got some water here, and I'm just going to add some paint to it. And I've probably got more water than I need to, but that's okay. And you can really put on as much or as little as you want on this step, guys. So I'm going to do the sides. Just like this. Easy peasy. Covering that whole thing. Okay. Then you're going to take your dampened towel and just start blotting, wiping back. And it's going to reveal all the texture of the brush strokes that you had with using that chalk mineral style paint. That's what I love about the chalk paint, is all the texture that you get. And it's also going to pop that amazing stamp detailing. Isn't that cool? And it will dry really quickly. So you just wipe it back as much as you want. It's just personal, you know, your own personal preference. There's no right or wrong at all. And again, you want to be really gentle if your clay is still wet, okay? So just like that. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at the detailing in that. And you can go back over any areas, you know, that you didn't get down in there. Just like that. Dab it off. Make it darker if you want. How stinking cool is that already, guys? Does that not look like a really old piece of clay sculpture? Look at that. Turn it right side up so you guys can see it. Isn't that amazing? How cool is that? You guys like that? Isn't that pretty? Look at how gorgeous that is. A little gorgeous ditty. See that? Look how beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, right? It actually has, it's like a French scripted writing, Michelle, so I'm not sure exactly what it says, but here's the stamp itself on the pad. That's what it looks like. So you can kind of see right there. It's like Jean-Francis Gillette something something 1778. Isn't that cool? That is the stamp. That is the stamp that I used. Isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, we're not done though yet. We're not done yet, guys. Now we are going to take, this is another one of my favorite stamps. It's called Kindest Regards. Look at this, all this scripted writing. Kindest Regards, okay? Kindest Regards. It's this nice 12 by 12 scripted letter. Beautiful. And we're just gonna take a section of it down at the bottom here. Okay. I'm gonna get out my, I am going to get out a more charcoaly black color for this part. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna use my Lincoln's hat. It's called Lincoln's Hat. It's by American Paint Company. And Lincoln's Hat is like it's a very charcoaly, soft black color. So I'm just putting some on a board here that I'm going to use as my brayering surface. Just like that. Normally I would have press and seal on my board, but I don't have any. So I'm just brayering like this. This is an IOD brayer. It's a nice hard rubber brayer. I love using these with our stamps because you get a nice thin coat like that. Okay. And then you just want to go over the stamp like that. And if you get any on the edge, just kind of wipe that area off, just so you don't. And you got to kind of move along kind of quickly with the stamps and the chalk paint because it dries so fast. So all I'm going to do is just kind of obviously we have the curve of the clay coming down here. So I'm just kind of going to meld into that a little bit. That's okay. Just like that. Look at that. How beautiful. Holy cow. It's just like that little finishing touch Does that not look like an amazing little piece of artwork, right? Look at that. Isn't that pretty, guys? Pretty little ditty, right? Look at how gorgeous that is. Simple, but yet it looks so old and vintage. It's just gorgeous. Just beautiful. Just like these others that I've done. You guys, it's amazing with the stuff that you can do with IOD. You guys saw this one that I did? This was with another one of the stamps from that same collection. This also is a seal type image. This was another one of the gallery series boards. But isn't it beautiful? Sue says she loves it. I do too, Sue. It's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Oh my gosh. This is why I love IOD, you guys. Endless, endless ideas and creations with these products. Amazing. So if you're looking for stamps and want to see all the different IOD goodies, you can check them out at theweatheredshed.com. But that is all I'm going to do for tonight, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will finish up this other board, getting the laurel all the way around it, and then we'll pick up on this one on another live here soon, okay? You guys have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye now.